My name is Graeme Barrett, and my great-grandfather was a famous detective. He solved many cases, but the ones he couldn't drove him mad. Sadly, the same thing happened to my father, and his father, and his father as well. Now it's up to me to stop this insanity once and for all by making sure these crimes are resolved. Hollywood can be a cold town, even in the summertime, and even colder if you want to be an actor, especially in Hollywood in the summertime. Today's unsolved case is just that, the case of the Black Dahlia. The year is 1947, Los Angeles. A body was found severed in half, missing all of its blood. It's the body of 22-year-old aspiring actress Elizabeth Short. She was dead when they found her. At this time, the case has gone cold, but I have a feeling I can warm it up. My first stop is a rendezvous with author Craig Owens, an expert on Hollywood crimes. He agreed to speak with me in exchange for $300. I have a feeling the clues I need to solve this case are buried deep inside this man. How did it start?
Well, it started with just a simple phone call from a distressed mother with her small child. "Mommy, what's that?" And when she went to look, she saw it was in fact a corpse. Elizabeth Betty Short. She was bisected. Her body was drained, a knife cut from ear to ear. Why was the body dumped there? Why was the body cut in half? What was her story?
So you were saying she was cut?
Mm-hmm. About right there.
This was done with surgical precision.
Yes.
So this is how the Black Dahlia was found?
Well, without clothes, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So when they found Elizabeth Short, she looked exactly like this.
Yeah, exactly like that.
I couldn't stop thinking about what Craig had said. Why would someone want to kill an aspiring actress? I needed to wrap my head around this case. If only I had been there. Then I realized I could bring the murder to me. So I hired some local actors to help recreate the scene of the crime, hoping their talents could shed some light on this dark story. Now, Elizabeth Short was cut completely in half, and there was no blood at the scene of the crime. None. So we're here today to figure out how that could have happened. You are now Elizabeth. You are now murderer.
I've been acting for well over 20 years now. Well, I've played the bad guy, I've played the bouncer, I've played the killer, I've played the porn star.
I want you to show exactly how you think the murder went down.
Okay. I've killed a few people on camera, yes. We were killing nuns.
Action.
Sometimes I do get lost in the moment. I was doing this movie where I was supposed to be this rapist. I got so into it that the female actress, she freaked out. They just wound up discarding the scene altogether. I didn't even physically touch her.
My very first role when I started doing this was to eat somebody's hand. Just eating it, and then all the blood is coming off and everything. I really just like acting.
This took place the same year the microwave came out. Maybe you sat in the performance. Perfect. It was perfect. Elizabeth Short was also an aspiring actress. Is there anything relatable?
Yeah, it's a tough business. Very few make it. Many don't. and many have to do things they wouldn't ordinarily do in order to try to make it.
In one word, explain to me how does it feel to be dead?
Easy.
My actor's talents shed some light on what could have happened that fateful day. But it wasn't enough. All right, everyone back to their ones. I needed to get my hands on real evidence. No more playing pretend. It's time to play detective.
So here it is. This is the Souden house.
This one.
Yes, it's really unusual.
They believe this is where Elizabeth Short may have been murdered.
Yes, in a bathtub in the basement of this house. In 2003, there was a book that came out written by Steve Hodel. Made the argument that his dad was the one who killed Elizabeth Short. And his dad's name was George Hodel. He lived in this house. He ran a clinic that treated venereal disease.
It was a vagina doctor?
Yes.
It kind of makes sense, the whole...
This is a house of evil. Now, what exactly are you doing?
Looking for evidence. Here, wait, can you hold this for a second?
Sure.
Elizabeth Short could be in here somewhere.
No, I don't think you're going to find evidence of a crime. You know, wouldn't it be better? Why don't you say something to the effect of, if these walls could only talk?
If these walls could talk, what do you think they would say?
Oh, I don't know, you know. Or how about this? I would love to know.
Yeah, that's good. If these walls could talk, what do you think they would say?
I would love to know.
And I would love to know who killed the Black Dahlia. Armed with new evidence, I journeyed into the desert to meet a forensic expert. Dr. Barry Fisher was the lab director for the LA Sheriff's Department for over 30 years and former president of the International Academy of Forensic Science. If anyone can decipher my dirt, it's Dr. Barry. Can you tell me what this is?
Well, off the top of my head, it looks like you raked up somebody's debris in their garden. It's not terribly suspicious.
So there's nothing more we can find out about this?
Probably not, no.
What do you know about the Black Dahlia case?
I don't have a clue. Wikipedia has a huge amount of information on it.
Wikipedia?
Yeah, Wikipedia. You haven't looked at Wikipedia? So here we are on Wikipedia. So here's a shot of Elizabeth, talks about her life.
It's all there.
Yeah, books written.
Black Dahlia DVD? Dr. Barry proved to have more knowledge than I could have ever imagined. Unfortunately, he created more questions than answers, and my questions needed answers. With no leads, my only option was to venture to the scene of the crime where the body of Elizabeth Short was discovered. Once an empty field, now a Mongolian bar and grill. Somewhere right around here would have been maybe where her body was found. Something like discovered in a way like this. If you were to walk in and discover this person, what would be your initial emotion?
Shock. Just like now. Yeah, you're gonna have to get
What?
up.
Oh, the Black Dahlia? Are you familiar with the Black Dahlia? Are you hungry?
Yeah.
After ingesting a few thousand calories, Craig made a huge discovery.
We're in the wrong spot.
This isn't where she was murdered?
Nope. It's close. It's under a mile.
This isn't the right spot?
That's what I'm saying.
Even after all that sweet and sour pork, Craig and I were still hungry for answers.
The Black Dahlia is perhaps the most famous unsolved crime in all of Los Angeles. And we are standing at the crime scene.
Let's pretend the dog poo is the body. How would you reenact the story for me?
You're approaching with your daughter, just in a stroller, and you see this white object that looks human-like. It's a dead woman, cut in half.
Besides that, there was nothing else of evidence here?
Not really.
Maybe there's some clues.
I felt so close to closing this case, I could smell it.
It's just insane.
But I just had one burning question that needed answers. Something about Robert didn't sit right with me. I had a hunch he wasn't just acting.
Here comes crime!
He was acting suspicious.
Can we do that again with an Italian accent?
Here comes the crime.
So I invited him out for coffee and answers.
Thank you again for meeting me here today. Now, when we last met, you proved that you were very good with knives. It got me thinking. You knew a lot about the case, so I had to do my due diligence. I took your hair sample to a scientist to confirm your age. From this hair sample, could you tell me how old someone is?
No.
Which, apparently, that's not how it's done. So I just have one question for you. Did you murder Elizabeth Short? I know you're telling the truth. I put truth serum in your coffee.
I may have been off the mark with Robert, but maybe my madness was working for me.
Weirdo.
Robert said something that lit a fuse in my brain.
So where did you learn all that knife stuff from?
Movies?
Movies?
Steven Seagal movies?
Movies. Steven Seagal movies. How could I have been so blind? Hollywood, a city so fake, it's not even real. And what's real is how fake the story really is. Now that I know for sure Robert wasn't the murderer, I have the final piece of this gruesome puzzle.
What's up, Will?
I needed to talk to Craig and let him know I had cracked the case wide open.
Craig! It's Graeme again.
So open that it could be shut. So I went to the ATM and took out another $300 and asked him to meet me once more at a secure location.
Thank you for meeting with me today.
Glad to be here.
We figured out a theory on why the case has never been solved.
Okay, love to hear it.
I believe the case of the Black Dahlia has not been closed because it's fake. Elizabeth Short isn't real. The Black Dahlia is actually a movie from 2006.
Okay, I've seen it.
Stars Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm. And you based it on this? Really? Okay. I have a hard time believing that one. How does this explain her mother came to LA and identified the body as her daughter?
It's a movie.
Right. But you're saying, so Graeme, I believe this particular conspiracy theory is so unrealistic that I would dismiss it immediately.
I could tell by the look in Craig's eyes that he knew I was right. And that's all I needed.
Do you guys have anything more from me?
Well, there you have it. Nothing but a bunch of smoke and mirrors. I guess that's Hollywood for you. Everything's fake. Even the crimes. The only thing that's real is that this case has been resolved.